This is Johnston in Lab 10.1, configuring layer 2 switches. So we're going to go ahead and go into our switch. This will be switch number 1 right here. Go into our command line interface, do enable, configure terminal, and host name S1. Then we're going to enable secret. And our secret password will be Todd. And then we're going to go into interface F0/15. Oh, actually I went to the wrong one. So interface F0/15. There we go. And then we're going to type in description. First connection to S3. There we go. And we're going to go into interface F0/16. And in this one we're going to do second connection. This one's going to be second connection to S3. Then we're going to do interface F0/17. And this one's going to say first connection to S2. Then we're going to do interface F0/18. And this one's going to be second connection to S2. And then we'll do interface F0/8. And this one is description connection to IVR. Then we're going to go to line console 0 for our connection here. And it's going to be a plain text password. And this one would be console. And this is for our logging, because there's different types of things you can put a password on. And then we're going to have our line variable tail type 015. And this one we're going to do password telnet. And this is going to be for its login. And then we're going to do interface VLAN1. And then we're going to put an IP address for that of 192.168.10.17. Subnet mask at 255.255.255.240. And we're going to make sure it's turned on, so we're going to do a no shut. And we're going to exit on that. And we're going to put a banner in here, MOTD. And we're going to do our hashtag there. This is my S1 switch. And then hashtag. Then we'll do exit. And this is only in our memory right now, so we're going to do copy run start. So it's copy running config, starting config. Just press enter twice there. And now it's saved on our S1 switch. And now we got to do this for our other switches too. So we'll have to go to switch 2 and go into its interface here. So we're going to do a configure terminal, and we're going to change the host name on this one We're going to call it, this one's S3 on the left there. So, actually, let's see here. I did click on S2. So I'd actually switched them in a diagram here. So I was thinking that was S2, but that's actually S3. So this is S2. So we'll go into this one and enable configure terminal. Change the host name to S2. And then we'll do enable secret and Todd. Keep it consistent. And on this one, we're going to do interface F0/1. And description is going to be basically, this one's going to be first connection to S1. And they're going to do interface F01, sorry, 0/2 instead of 0/1 now. And this one would be second connection to S1. Then we got to go to our next interface on here, which would be our connection between S3 and S2. So this is going to be interface F0/5. And on this one for F0/5, this is going to be our first connection to S3. And then we're going to have F0/6, which will be our second connection to S3. So we got those right there. So we pretty much got all of our connections, 1, 2, 5, and 6. And that'll cover S2 for that. Now we're going to have to do line console 0. And here we're going to do password console, which is plain text password for now. And actually, you see I put a little space there. That can really mess up your password, so make sure there's no spaces in there. And we're going to do this for login. And then we're going to do our next one, which would be line variable teletype 015, so for all the ports. And we're going to do password telnet. That's for the login. And then we're going to do interface VLAN1. And actually, they want us to do VLAN space 1. So I'm going to go ahead and put interface VLAN space 1. And it's going to be IP address 192.168. And instead of .17, because we're switched to, it's going to be .10.18 with subnet mask of 255.255.255.240. We're going to do no shut. Exit, and then we'll do a banner MOTD and hashtag this is my S2 switch. There we go. And hashtag exit, copy run start, enter twice, and now we have switch 2. Now we got to go ahead and do switch 3 now. Alright. So now, on switch 3, we're going to change our host name to S3. And then we're going to do enable secret Todd. And now we have to deal with our interfaces again. So interface F0/1. And we'll put a description on this one. And basically, this will be our first connection to S1. Interface F0/2 will be our second connection. Alright, and then we'll go into our next interface, which will be F0/5. And this would be our first connection to S2. And we'll do 0/6, and that would be our second connection to S2. Alright. Now, let's go ahead and now our next step is going to be our line console 0. And here we're going to put our password again. Password console without a space for login. Line variable teletype 0 space 15. And then password telnet for our login. And then we're going to do interface VLAN1. And here we're going to put IP address 192.168.10. And then this one's going to be .19. It's going to be 255.255.255.240. No shut. Now let's go ahead and exit out of that interface. Let's put in our banner here. Banner MOTD. Hashtag this is my S3 switch. Hashtag. There we go. Exit, copy, run, start. Enter, enter. And now we got all three of our switches set up. And now we can continue on to lab 10.2. So now they want us to go to this first switch. So let's put our password in. Which the password in this in this place is a console, because we're hooked in with a console cable. That's basically how Packet Tracer's first set up. So we're not telnetting in right now. And that's going to do enable. And it's going to be Todd for our password there. So show interface VLAN 1. If you notice right here, this is what they're really wanting us to check out. VLAN is up, line protocol is up. And the default MTU is usually 1500 bytes. I think if there's anything else. Now for our next one, we're going to show MAC address table. Here we go. So each interface has its own MAC address. And these are dynamic. And it's dynamic because we basically are using our VLAN to connect. And it's just creating a connection that way. Because we didn't make a static route between each one. We're just doing layer 2 right now, not layer 3. So next step is we're going to do show running config. And you notice that there's nothing on the interfaces here. I mean, they are up. The only thing is you do see the description right there. And you can see our enable secret is, because we use secret, is not showing here in plain text. And there's the IP address that we did right here. And see that we didn't use secret, so it's showing as plain text there. Same thing for these. And you do see here for the banner right there, this is my switch, my S1 switch. Alright, so our next step is going to show IP interface brief, which is used quite a lot in industry. So it's showing which ones are up and which ones are down. So these are the ones that I did no shut on. And then we also show our VLAN 1, which is also up. And it's the only one that we really have a IP address on. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go to lab 10.3. Now I'm going to go to switch 3 now. And in switch 3, we're going to do configure terminal. And we're going to go to interface. Oh, let me get back in there. Alright, so we're going to go into interface fast Ethernet 0/3. And we're going to do switch port mode access, because you have to change the mode. And we're going to do switch port security, or port security. And now we're going to exit out of that. And, or you could have just done end, and then the show port security interface F0/3. And we'll see right here port security enabled, secure shutdown, and if someone violates that security, then it'll shut down the port. And I'm trying to think, we only have maximum MAC address of 1 right now. And now they want us to go ahead and go back into that same port. So configure terminal, interface F0/3. And we're going to do switch ports, port security maximum 2. And then, and that's what I was showing earlier about the maximum MAC addresses. So let's go ahead and go back and look at that again. And show, here it is, show port security interface F0/3. And maximum MAC addresses here is 2 now. That's what we just changed. And let's do configure terminal. And you don't have to go and press end every time. You could just say do show run, or do basically do show port security interface F0/3. Alright, so we're going to do configure terminal interface F0/3, and then we're going to do switch port, port security, violation, restrict. So if we go back up here, might not show it up here, but so you do show port security interface F0/3. And you see right here it says violation mode restrict now. Alright, so we're going to end this right here. And we're going to do show port security. And they show it right here, FA0/3. And the maximum secure address is right there, which we told it to be 2 instead of 1 by default. And it's restricted, because that's what we just told it to do. Now, let's go ahead and do show port security interface F0/3. As I was just showing you before, you could just you just could put do in front of this for if you're in another interface. But yeah, it just shows restrict, max MAC addresses is 2. And let's do show running config. And here we go, 0/3. It shows basically the commands that we put in there. And we put the maximum 2 right there, and violation restrict. And we don't really have anything else on the other ports, and we just have our VLAN right here, so VLAN 1. Alright, and you could do a copy run start if you like, just to save your progress. And that's everything for our labs.